Hey, it's Jack from Alphacharts with the State of the Market video. Today is August 30th, 2025. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, thank you all for watching the video. If you haven't done so, please like, retweet it, reply to it, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe. It all helps me out quite a bit. If you are on X, you can find me at Alphacharts365. Posting things there all the time. If you haven't done so, please check that out. If you want to, for $10 a month, you become a member. You get all of this content coming your way. I've gone over it many times, but focus list, midweeks, annotated charts, lots and lots and lots of content. I don't tell you to buy or sell. I tell you what I'm doing. It's kind of like my trading journal that I'm just sharing publicly. That's it. But for $10 a month, it is a very inexpensive way to get I think some very quality content. So check that out. If you're YouTube only, I do have a YouTube only membership as well. It's exactly the same video content and annotated charts as Twitter, so there's no difference between the two of them. But some people aren't on Twitter, and that's cool. That's absolutely fine. That's why I created this. If you happen to not be on Twitter and on YouTube and want to get all that same content, check out this area again in the posts tab. That's where you find all the annotated charts and notes and live stream links and all that kind of stuff. And everything else is video content. Okay? So check all that out. Let's get into these videos. Dow Jones Industrial. Listen, the breakout is still there. I know we had a rough day on Friday overall in the market, especially in the growthy areas, but overall, this is still here, and this is still a legitimate breakout. And I think that's something that we should be, bullish on the week. Let's see what it was on the week. Come on, weekly charts. They are, down zero point 0.1 on the week, so about just a consolidation week, basically. SPY was down 0.02. Again, another consolidation week. Yes, maybe this is some sort of rising wedge. I drew these in there. Doesn't mean to be big, bold, and scary, but it's something to watch, right? If these trend lines, break whichever way, if it breaks higher, that tells us a lot too, right? It doesn't have to break lower, but there's a potential rising wedge happening on the SPY. But for the most part, this past week was just a consolidation week. RSP right at the breakout point. Also, a consolidation week down only 0.48. And, again, it's looking fine, right? There's really nothing, no damage was done to this chart at all. Qs, they've been leading now. Some people are pointing to this head and shoulders area. I think SMH they're showing it better on. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible, but only down 0.27 on the week. Yeah, it wasn't the best week, but it wasn't like this earth-shattering end of the world type of week. At least I don't see it as that. We're still above a rising 50-day and 200-day, and it's just a kind of a sideways week. Maybe Qs aren't leading anymore, but they're definitely not breaking down at this point. Now, listen, they could break down next week. What do I know, right? But they're above this higher low. They're above the rising 50-day, so that's all positives. Equal weights were down 0.86, so a little bit more in the equal weighted mid caps. They were down 0.08. So we're seeing again just a consolidation week. And IWM, let's take a look at that one. On the weekly, they were up 0.17. So you see small caps leading at this point. Equal weights doing a little bit better, especially in RSP, mid caps, and IWM. So that's kind of where the money's kind of flowing to, at least last week, right? Let's look at XLF. All-time highs and weekly did very well, up 0.79. So that's good to see, very bullish. And again, there's opportunities in there probably. SMH down 1.14. So definitely the laggard, on the weekly. And then looking at the daily, people are talking about this kind of like a stalling, maybe a little head and shoulders trying to make a top here, right? Yeah, sure, it's possible, but I mean, I think it's probably more of a continuation pattern then it is going to be a breakdown pattern. Now, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But I'm not a doomer. And I think that if the market's good, chances are it needs semiconductors to at least participate for the rest of the market to look good. So that's where I'm at with that. XSD, that was a pretty rough Friday. Let's look at the weekly. You know, big give back on the week, right? It started out really nice, big give back on the week. But overall, when we look at it, still above its breakout level, just got a little bit extended. I'm not too worried about that one yet. Transports making this kind of basey look to here. It hasn't broken out yet, but it's at least participating in a constructive way. XTN, well, it looks close enough, about the same. ITB, I mean, you can see almost like this cup and handle look to it. I'm not saying it is a cup and handle, but it's got that cup and handle look to it, right? Maybe comes back a little bit more and then breaks out. A lot of accumulation on the chart. That's a positive, right? It's making a base, just like transports, right? And I think that's constructive. XHB looks about the same. The Mag 7, above its breakout points, above all its moving averages. Again, there's not much to not like. It was just a consolidation week. Maybe we get another one. I don't know. It's very possible, but above rising 50-day, above its breakout level, we'll say 58-ish or so. So yeah, maybe it chops around for another week, and then we get enough of a consolidation that where it moves higher. That would be like normal price action, right? This type of price action going vertical, a little bit more abnormal, right? More of a, this is more normal, right? Boom, consolidation, higher, and then eventually you get that kind of, okay, we're underneath the 50-day. Now we start to worry about things, right? We're not there yet. Bitcoin is now retesting its breakout pretty strongly, we'll call it. I'm not sure where it's at this morning. Remember, Bitcoin never sleeps. Let's just see what we're looking at for Bitcoin. It is just checking it from this morning at 108.6 right now. So again, not great looking. But then we'll look at Ethereum, and Ethereum also is not great. It's down. Actually, it's up. It's at 43.90 right now. So we'll see what happens with crypto. Again, I consider them the risky of the risk assets. So I like when they are looking like this because it's usually pretty good for stocks. And right now they're just going through a consolidation phase. At least that's the way I look at it. If this breaks down from here, that would be below $60. That would be something more concerning, I think. So yeah, there we go. So what are we seeing? So I think in the end, the indexes overall look good. I think the key sectors overall look good. They're either uptrends or constructive or very constructive. Tech looks like it's taking a little bit of a breather. The Mag 7 looks like they're just taking a little breather. Nvidia had earnings. I don't know why that's not working. Nvidia usually just lets me type it, but it's not. So we'll just go right here and let's click on Nvidia. And yeah, Nvidia had earnings, and on the week, they were down 2%, right? 2% on the week. That's after earnings. That's not terrible. And they have a big buyback coming above a rising 50-day. Maybe this is the top. Maybe it's just a consolidation that's gone through, and we're getting ready for the next move higher. We'll see. But I think the way Nvidia goes, and Broadcom has earnings too, by the way, coming up. By the way Nvidia goes, I think the rest of tech will probably follow. That's my guess. Anyway, if you haven't done so, check me out at Alphacharts 365. Click on the subscribe button for $10 a month. You won't get a better deal than that. All right, take care. Bye bye.